So go ahead and if you want, you can slide that block under your seat and close your eyes as you sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in, fill all the way up to the top. Think about expanding through the front side of your body right away. And then breathe all the way out. Think about the breath traveling down the back side of your body to ground you. You can do that a few more times on your own, just starting to notice that. Inhale, how you start to feel that upward sort of energy. You sit up taller. Chest becomes a little bit broader as you expand. And then as you exhale, think about the shoulders drawing down, the energy drawing down the back to ground you towards the seat, towards the feet. So you're going to think of those two actions, like the inhale lifting you up, the exhale grounding you. About one more like that, full breath in. Big exhale to land. And then, yeah, if you need to, start to move the head, create any sort of movement that feels good, maybe dropping chin to your chest, rolling one ear to one side, and then to the other side. And you can keep that movement, but I'll also offer up something that can be a little bit more efficient as well. Start to drop your right ear towards your right shoulder and just pause. They don't have to touch, of course. Can you still draw the right shoulder down a little bit more? And then take your right hand, bring it to the top of your head. Now, rather than just pressing your hand into your head to draw your ear down, I want you to do almost the opposite. You're going to press down with the hand, but can you press your head back up into your hands? So you get a more efficient stretch. Now, can the left shoulder draw away from that sensation? Take a full round of breath, fill all the way up. And exhale to ground. And you can gently release that and you'll switch sides, left ear to your left shoulder. And then once you're there, left hand comes to the top of your head rather than drawing just your head down. I want you to press your head back up into your palm. You can even reach your right fingertips away from that sensation. Take a full breath in. Big exhale, empties you out. And then release it gently. Reach the arms up and overhead. Take a huge inhale to reach up. Start to interlace the fingers above your head and spin your palms up towards the sky here. If that feels good, you lengthen. And then just lean over to the right, just enough to create space in the left side. And then back up through center. You get to lean over to the left, feel the length in the right. And then you rise up, take a big inhale, maybe even look up to that space beyond your pinky fingers. And then gently release the hands down along your sides. Start to walk your hands back behind you just for a moment. Plant the feet hips width distance. And then just lift your feet here. And maybe start to take a little bit of movement side to side. Feel the front of the neck start to lengthen, maybe as you look straight up towards the ceiling. And then start to just sit off of that block. You can move it off to the side, bring it towards the front of your mat, and then make your way to hands and knees, tabletop pose. Once you're in tabletop pose, take a breath in to lift your heart, finding cow as you inhale. And then exhale to press the ground away around your upper back towards the sky for cat. One more like that. Inhale to lift the heart, roll the shoulders back, maybe even soften the elbows. And then exhale to press down and you round. Then come back to neutral. Just send your right leg back. Tuck your toes under onto the ground. And then right away, you're going to spin that heel down and reach your right arm up. Take a big breath in. And then reach your right arm over your right ear. See if you can keep pressing down through your right foot and reach through the right fingertips. And start to take your right hand behind your head so you bend at the elbow. Take a breath in right here to open through the front. Now, as you exhale, bring right elbow towards your left wrist. They don't have to touch, it's just drawing down. And then one more like that. Inhale, open up and squeeze the back body, let it engage. And then exhale, you get to pull it apart, elbow towards your left wrist. And then reach the right hand back up, take a huge inhale. Right hand reaches forward and let it return to the ground, back to tabletop pose. One round of cat-cow, lifting the chest as you inhale. And then exhale to press the ground away. You get to round, dropping chin to chest. For a moment, sit back on your heels and bring your hands together in front of your heart. You're going to press your palms together and just make that figure eight rather, with your knuckles in both directions, like you're tracing that infinity symbol. Just to warm up the wrists, especially if you've been at a computer all day, this can feel really nice to bring a little bit more movement in a different way to your wrists. And then keep that clasp of your hands, come up onto your knees, reach your arms up and overhead, take a big inhale. Now keep that clasp, you'll tip back and reach the hands forward to engage the belly, the legs, even the glutes. Stay a full round of breath. In, soften the face as you empty. And then rise up, bring that structure over your head. And then release your arms down along your sides, hands return, tabletop pose. Right into the other side, you send the left leg behind you, tuck the toes onto the ground. You might even press back through the heel first, get that nice stretch in the calf. And then spin your left heel down and reach the left arm high. Take that big inhale to open up. Exhale to reach the left hand forward. You can even tip a little bit more to find that stretch in the left side. And then reach back up to the sky for a moment. You get to bend the elbow, hand to the back of your head. Take a breath in to lift it higher. And then exhale to bring elbow towards your right wrist. One more like that. Inhale, open up. And then exhale to draw it down. And then reach your left hand back up. Reach it forward. Let it find the ground. Tabletop pose. Lifting the heart, finding that cow pose. Exhaling to round for cat. Sit back on your heels one last time to interlace the hands together. Press the palms together actively. Then make that infinity symbol. Trace it. That figure eight, just for 3. Keep your awareness on your mat. What's happening right here. 2. Last one. You'll rise up onto your knees. Reach the fingers over your head. Keep that structure together. And then you'll just tip back. Hands go forward just as you breathe out. That's it. And then you release it. Reach the hands back up. Start to step your right foot forward, finding a lunge. You're coming right into that low lunge. Right hand drops down, and now you get to find more length to the left side, tip to the right. Reach both hands back up, huge inhale. Hands coming down, framing your right foot. You're gonna tuck your back toes, lift the knee, look forward. Just step your left foot up to meet the right, and then heel toe them a little wider apart. Bend the knees a lot and land in ragdoll. You get to be at the front of your mat. Letting your head, neck, just release towards the ground. And then release your arm. Halfway lift, big breath in, heart goes further forward. Big exhale to fold and bow down. Feel the back side of the body lengthen. Rise all the way up, take that inhale to lift up. And then start to bend your knees right into chair pose as you empty. Take a breath in to stay. Sink a little bit lower. One more inhale. Start to bring your hands to your heart center. So now we're up a little higher. You're gonna send weight into the right foot. Pick the left heel up. Now as you tip your heart forward, just send your left leg back. You're gonna land in a higher lunge here. So bending through that right knee, the left toes tuck under. Reach the arms up and overhead. Just like you did before, take that breath in. Drop the right hand down and lean over to the right. Back up through center, reach the right hand high. Open up warrior two just for a moment. Now straighten the legs, reach the arms up. Pick the right toes up. Let them parallel the left and fold forward. With that wide stance in the legs, maybe you bend one knee at a time, maybe you shake side to side. And then find a halfway lift right here, chest parallel to the ground. You're gonna keep the chest parallel to the ground, bend your left knee, just like a side lunge here. Ardha Skandasana, you'll take that big breath in to lengthen through the front. A breath out to ground down through the feet. And then look to your right foot. You're gonna come back to warrior two. The right toes will turn forward and you open the arms wide. And right into reverse warrior. Right hand will rise, take that big inhale. And then bring your hands down, a low lunge. You'll spin that back heel up off the ground. Now start to drop your left knee onto the ground. Your left hand can come to the earth or to your block. You're gonna keep it there to pick the right foot up. And then see if you can send that right leg behind you to float, or it finds the ground. Right into that modified side plank. Like you did before, reach the right fingertips high. And then start to take the hand behind the head. With or without that leg lifted, it's your choice. Take a breath in to open up. Now the exhale brings the elbow towards the left wrist. Just to play with balance here, inhale, open up. One more time, exhale, draw it down. Now reach the right hand back up to the sky. Let the right knee, right hand return, tabletop pose. Nice and easy, a lift of the heart, finding cow. And exhaling to round into cat. This time you'll sit back on your heels, but walk the hands behind you. Lift the heart here, reverse cow. Maybe even lift the seat, take one more. Inhale to open through the front. And then exhale to sit back down, you ground, rise up onto your knees. Take that inhale, reach up high. Drop the left hand down, you get to lean over to the left, should feel good. And then reach back up through center. Step the left foot forward into that lunge. You'll take that breath in, reach up higher. Big breath out to empty. And then again, you get to drop that left hand down, reach through the right fingertips. Notice how that deepens the stretch in the front of the right hip. And then hands coming down, framing your left foot. Tucking the back toes, lift the knee off the ground and step that right foot up to meet the left. Feet go wide, soften the knees, drop the head, maybe even sway side to side. This ragdoll pose, you let everything go. Release the arm. Halfway lift, take that big breath in. Exhale to fold and bowing the chest. Stand all the way up, rise, reach tall towards the ceiling. And then sit back into that chair pose right away, bending the knees. Bring your hands to your heart. Pausing here, a full breath in to stay. Big breath out to sink, maybe even a little bit lower. And as you shift the weight into that left foot, the right heel picks up. The heart goes forward and send your right heel behind you. And then the right toes find the ground. It's that high lunge. Take that breath in first to reach high. And then drop the left hand down, lean over to the left. Reach both hands back up, full breath in. Open up, warrior two. Just for that moment, you start to straighten the legs, reach the arms high, pick the left toes up with you. And let them parallel the right, hinge at the hips, and you fold forward and let the head drop here. Just a round of breath, inhale. Big exhale. And then bring your chest parallel to the ground, that halfway lift. This time you get to bend through the right knee, Ardha Skandasana. We call it that side lunge. Big breath in. Big exhale. And then see your left toes. You're going to turn them forward as you open up to the front, warrior two. Staying here, and then you get to reverse. Left hand rises, big breath in. Hands find the ground, finding that low lunge for a moment. That back heel will spin up. You can even heel toe that left foot over to the left, just a little bit more. That block can come under your right hand as you drop the right knee down. Now see if you can use your sense of center here. Pick the left foot up. Maybe send it behind you, let it float, or find the ground, your choice. As always, you lift the left fingertips high. Bring the hand behind the head. You have 2 rounds of breath here to open up, take that breath in. And then exhale, elbow towards the wrist. One more like that, inhale, open up. And exhale, draw it in. Reach the left hand back up to the sky. Finding tabletop pose, hands and knees. You land. Lift of the heart as you inhale, open up. Exhale to press the ground away and you round even more. Now this time, we need to stay on your knees but shift forward, finding a sense of plank. So notice where your shoulders land in relationship to your fingertips, to your hands. You're gonna slightly tip them forward a little bit more. Take that breath in. Now keep that long spine lower all the way down to the ground. Elbows just grazing your sides. Keep your hands where they are. Lift your heart, finding just a baby cobra here. You'll rise. And then exhale, release. Forehead can find the ground. One more like that. Inhale, lift up. Take that big breath in to squeeze the back body. And then exhale to lower. Hands and knees, tabletop pose just for a moment. And then find child's pose. Pull your hips back in space. Forehead can return to the ground, but in the middle of your mat. Take this moment of pause in the middle of movement to notice where your mind wants to travel. Bring it to your breath. Full inhale. Big exhale. And then we just start to build and make that same movement as before a little bit bigger. You'll shift forward, hands and knees to start. This time you'll tuck the toes, float the knees right off the ground as you inhale. Send your hips back and up, downward facing dog, our first down dog. Maybe pedal out the feet, shake the hips side to side. And once you find that firm base in the hands, that stillness, you'll lift the right leg up, take a breath in. And then slowly you get to step the right foot to the right thumb. Nice and easy. Again, your back knee drops, reaching the hands up and overhead. Take that big inhale, you'll rise. Drop the right hand down, lean over to the right. Now come back up through center, take a huge inhale. Start to bring your hands down towards the ground. You're going to frame your front foot. Keep the block handy. Tuck your back toes. Lift the knee off the ground. Now, you might have that block close by. Finding standing splits to your degree. So it's not about how high that leg can go. You need to think about softening your right knee. So think about belly almost resting on your right thigh. Your hands can come to that block. If you want a little bit more length in the low back, take one more inhale wherever you are. And then right away you get to bend both knees. That left foot lands next to the right. You're going to keep that block in your hands as you slowly stand, so slow. Stand all the way up here. Bring that block up and overhead in between your hands here. Take a big breath in. And with your feet a little bit wider than hips width distance, just for a moment, I want you to bend your knees. Place that block in between your thighs, like so. So you can hug that block in and find that strength to sit back, hands to your heart center. Take a breath in. Keep hugging that block in. See if you can shift the weight to the right foot. Pick the left foot up. Play with it. Set it back down. Now you're going to switch sides. You're going to pick that right heel up. Pause. Set it down. Now release that block. Grab it in between your hands. Reach it up and overhead as you stand up and rise. Keep it over your head as you just step that left foot back. Open up. Warrior two. Now you'll take the block into your right hand, reach it straight up to the sky, drop the left hand down, reverse, and like you were really, really pressing that block up into the ceiling. So you can get a little bit longer through your right side. One more inhale. You're gonna start to tip forward, keep that length. Block comes inside the right foot. On any height you want it to be, find side angle, left arm over your ear. Drawing your chest up towards the sky. Stay, full breath in. Can you thread the front ribs together as you empty? Find that strength. And then keep that block in your right hand as you rise back up, straighten the right leg. Pick the right toes up, let them parallel the left. Block goes up and overhead in between both hands. And you'll start to hinge at the hips. Bring that block right underneath your nose. Let it drop and then drop your head. Take a halfway lift right here. Your right hand will come onto that block. Start to bend through the left knee like you did before. Finding that side Anjaneyasana here, or that side lunge. Right hand will stay. Start to bring the left hand to the back of your head. So just like you did before, you're going to lift that elbow high. Now, as you exhale, think elbow just towards the other elbow. No need to go any lower. One more like that. Inhale, open up. Can you squeeze the back body? Stay in the lunge. Just one more exhale to draw elbow to elbow. And then you'll reach the left hand back up. Take a breath in to twist. And then left hand returns to that block. You're going to take that block with you, bring it to the front of your mat. Frame your right foot into that lunge. Now you can drop the left knee down or step back to plank. Your feet can come together. Your heels can go to the left, reach the right arm up. Now you can stay here if you want a little bit more. Use the inhale to expand. The exhale to just thread that right arm underneath the left ribs. One more like that. Inhale, open up. And then exhale to thread. Take one more breath in. Coming back, tabletop pose, hands and knees. Lifting of the heart, finding cow as you breathe it. And then exhaling to round for cat. You'll sit back on your heels, walk the hands back. Last reverse cow here, lifting of the heart. Maybe lifting the feet. One more, inhale. And then you drop back down on the exhale. You rise up onto your knees. Take that big breath in. Hands coming down, back to downward facing dog. And then you get to take all of that on the other side. So right here, take a big breath in through your nose. Open up your mouth, clear it out. And start to lift the left leg up and back. If you need a roll of the ankle, a wiggle of the toes, of course you take it. Take a big breath in to find that length. Use the exhale to step left foot to your left thumb. Dropping the right knee down. Reach the arms up and overhead. One breath in to reach higher here. And then you get to drop the left hand down, lean over to the left. Back up through center, left hand rises. Hands come down, framing your left foot. You'll keep that block handy as you tuck the back toes, lift the knee. And it's your standing split here. Your right leg gets to lift up. Think about the inseam of your right thigh spinning in and up towards the sky. Full breath in. Just one more exhale. With or without that block, your choice. Maybe start to reach the heart further forward. Soften both knees as you drop the feet down. Take a moment of pause. Maybe it's a ragdoll. Maybe you sway nice and easy side to side. And then release your hands down. Have that block in your hands. Take a halfway lift here first. Stay as you empty. And then slowly start to stand all the way up. Keep that block in between your hands. With open palms here, reach that block up and overhead. Grow a little bit taller as you inhale. And then right into that chair pose, bend your knees and slide that block in between your thighs. Just creating a little bit more heat, more integrity as you hug in. Hands to your heart center. Shift the weight into the left foot. See if you can just pick the right heel up, let it float. And then set it back down. You get to switch to the other side, pick the left heel up, hug the inner thighs together. Set it down, remove that block, bring it up and overhead, take a full inhale, stand up. You just step that right foot back, open up, warrior two. So you're facing the side of your mat, but that left knee bends. And then you keep the block in your left hand, drop the right hand down and reach like you were pressing that block on the ceiling. Get even longer, but sink low in the legs. And then tip forward, drop that block inside the foot. Extended side angle. Right arm over your ear. Spin your chest just a little bit more towards the wall in front of you. Take one more breath in, keep that block in the left hand as you stand all the way up. Pick the left toes up, they get to parallel the right. Reach that block up and over your head. And then you hinge forward, drop the block right down in front of your face on the ground and find that halfway lift, big breath in. Chest stays parallel. Your left hand will come to that block. Bend your right knee, your back knee bends. And then reach your right hand up to the sky. Hand behind your head here, bending the elbow. Take that breath in, open up. Elbow towards your left elbow, they touch. One more like that, inhale, open up. And then exhale, draw it in. Reach your right hand back up to the sky. And then let it return to that block. Bring it with you to the front of your mat as you frame your left foot. Now your choice to drop the right knee like before or step back to plank. You're coming into that side plank, your variation, heels to the right. Left arm can lift up. And if you want more, take that breath in to expand. The breath out to thread the left arm under the right ribs. One more like that, inhale, open up. Exhale to thread. As you breathe in, open up. Landing in plank. Dropping your knees. child's pose. Hips go back, forehead comes to the earth. Maybe even start to rock your head side to side. And whenever you are ready, you'll just shift your way forward onto hands and knees. Have that block handy and nearby. We're going to eventually make our way to half pigeon, but before we do that, I want you to send your right leg straight back behind you. You're still in that tabletop, but then bend the knee 90 degrees. Here, take a breath in, press the heel up towards the sky. Now, as you exhale, cross the knee just right behind and over to the left, behind the left knee. You're gonna do that one more time, kick up and back with that bent knee, and then draw it in. Find that internal rotation of the right thigh. And then you'll start to send that leg straight back. Now think right knee towards your right wrist. And then start to draw your shin. Doesn't have to be straight forward, of course. It actually doesn't matter where that shin lands. Just make sure it's not parallel to your mat. It's on an angle. Now you can start to take that block, slide it underneath your right hip. And then maybe like you were coming into an up dog here, your back toes point back, you lift through the chest. Stay here or start to drop to your forearm. And you can let your head and neck go here. Just about 5 rounds of breath. We're not here long. Can you come back to that awareness of the breath in and expanding through the front? And then exhaling to land and know you are supported. And slowly walk the hands back. You'll lift the chest. And press into the hands. You'll just drag that knee back next to the left. You can move that block off to the side, get it ready, maybe on the left side. And then take lateral movements here, right ribs to the right, left ribs to the left, maybe even moving in a circle clockwise, and then counterclockwise. Here, I'll take the other side. Once you're in neutral, you'll send the left leg behind you. Bend the knee 90 degrees. Take a breath in to press the heel up towards the sky. And then that internal rotation, cross the left knee across the body behind you. And then one more time like that. Inhale, send it up. And just the exhale to let it cross. And then send that left leg behind you. Let it stretch all the way back. And then knee towards your left wrist. And as you just swing that leg in front. And drag the right toes back. Let them point back. Slide the block under your feet to lift your chest high. Stay here or drop to your forearm. Your half pigeon pose. Maybe take note if there's a different sensation on this side than the other. Stay and breathe. Just about 4 more rounds on your own. And whenever you're ready, you can start to lift your chest, plant your hand. You can move that block out from underneath you. Now this time, just sit on your left hip and swing that right leg around in front of you. Take your legs out in front, give them a shake. And that right leg will stay long, sole of the left foot comes in. Just enough, we're not gonna fold forward here. You're gonna reach your hands up towards the sky. We're finding that little back bend. So your left hand will come behind you and you'll lift your feet, press down through your right foot. I want you to reach away with your right fingertips. Let that feel good in any sort of way. And then you'll sit back down and you'll switch the legs. Left leg goes long, sole of the right foot in. Same idea, you'll reach your hands up, but your right hand comes behind you and you'll lift your feet, reach away from your left foot as it plants. Then you'll sit back on your seat. Both legs go forward. Have that block handy and nearby, just right off to the side in the middle of your mat. You'll start to bend your knees just enough to plant your feet, reach your hands forward. And then so slowly you'll start to roll one vertebra at a time down towards the ground. And as we start to slow things down here, I want you to just heel toe your feet a little closer for support as you take your arms down along your sides, pick your feet up. And on the lowest setting of that block, you're going to slide it right underneath your sacrum, right under your pelvis for support. Maybe bringing hands to your hip bones here, closing the eyes. So your hips are just slightly elevated, a little bit higher than your heart. If this feels good, you stay, or if you want a little more, just a supported inversion here. You can lift your feet up towards the sky. And your arms can come down along your sides, even your palms can face up, so you can soften everything and just let the weight of your legs just be heavy right above your hip sockets. Let them almost be weightless here as they sink in. Maybe a wiggle of the toes, a roll of the ankles. If you find your mind traveling to what's yet to be accomplished, know you're exactly where you need to be, right here. Give yourself that gift of presence just for 3. Two more rounds of breath in this shape. Last 2. Last one, bending through the knees. Let your feet return to the ground, press down into them, just enough to lift your feet up. Slide that block out from underneath you. Then you can take your legs long here, and if you're done with the props, you don't even want to be bothered, you can just press or push that block aside, or I will give you an option of taking that block if you'd like a little bit of release in the back of the neck. That block can come on an angle, and you can just shimmy it up in a way that you find the edge of that block right at your occiput, your occipital ridge, right at the base of your skull. And just provides a little bit of pressure there. a little bit of release. You can keep your hands there as a guide just for a moment. And then if you want, rock your head slowly, slowly, slowly to the right, just ever so gently. Slow, subtle movements, maybe even your head over to the left. Choosing to stay with that, if that provides you release. Or if not, you let it go. You that block under the head. Or off to the side, and you find your final shape. Your Shavasana, your rest, your well-deserved rest. Right here. Close your eyes. Under any circumstance, always do your best. No more and no less. But keep in mind that your best is never going to be the same from one moment to the next. Everything is alive and changing all the time. So your best will sometimes be high quality, and other times it will not be as good. When you wake up refreshed and energized in the morning, your best will be better than when you are tired at night. Your best will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Your best will depend on whether you're feeling wonderful or upset, angry, or jealous. In your everyday moods, your best can change from one moment to another, from 1 hour to the next, from one day to another. Your best will change over time. But as you build these habits of awareness, of knowing yourself, your best will become better than it used to be. Regardless of the quality, keep doing your best. If you try too hard to do more than your best, you will spend more energy than is needed. And in the end, your best will not be enough. When you overdo, you deplete your body and go against yourself, and it will take you longer to accomplish your goal. But if you do less than your best, of course, you subject yourself to frustrations, self-judgment, guilt, and regrets. So just do your best in any circumstance of your life. It doesn't matter if you are sick or tired. If you always do your best, there is no way you can judge yourself. Do your best, and perhaps you will learn that no matter how long you meditate, how long you practice on a mat, you can live, you can love, you can be happy. Take a full breath in through the front. You expand. Breathe all the way out. And so to send that breath to your fingers, all the way down to your toes, maybe even in your wrists, your ankles. You create a little more space, a little more movement. You can even reach your arms over your head and stretch so long, like a big body yawn. Bend your knees. When you're ready, you'll roll to your side and you'll make your way up to a seat. And once you're there, bring your hands together in front of your heart and maybe even slightly bow your chin towards that space. Knowing that you have made the time to create space in your body, space in your mind, and to show up as your best, creating that as a habit always. So honor yourself. Take your thumb tips to the center of your forehead, remembering to be kind and take care of yourself so you can share that kindness and take care of others. Namaste.